After every other chapter in Paper Mario, Junior Troopa will come up and fight you, and I don't really like him, he's annoying. So here's how to skip all of his fights. For this, I'll be allowing skipping him by any means.
Wish my Meemaw were still alive to see this.
Though methods that skip the least amount of the game are preferred. So skipping the entire chapter is valid, but if there's something that skips only part of the chapter, that's what I'll be doing instead. Throughout the game, there's 6 Junior Troopa fights in total.
Yo bro, I'm so confused.
The first fight is midway through Prologue, then you fight him after Chapter 1, 3, 5, and then you fight him midway through Chapter 7 and Chapter 8.
This is low-key Bridgerton coded.
Starting with the Prologue fight, skipping is pretty easy thanks to a trick that breaks Paper Mario an insane amount of loading zone storage. With LZS, you can trigger loading zones wherever you want, instead of where you're supposed to.
Maybe the real video was in here.
And to understand why this is so useful, let's go through this room step by step. Right as you come in here and walk to the left a little, Goomba will say something. You go over to the bush with the hammer and get it. The Junior Troopa fight happens, and then you leave.
Vroom vroom.
The trigger for fighting Junior Troopa only exists once you get the hammer, so with LZS we can trigger Goompa's dialogue, LZS over to the hammer bush, and then get the hammer.
I'm on that weird side of TikTok.
When we do this, the game will say, okay, you got the hammer, oh, we're leaving the room now. And just like that, you never touch the Junior Troopa trigger, completely skipping him. Just make sure to interact with the bush from the front,
Bussin'.
as it takes longer to get the hammer if you do it from the back, and that difference in time will make it not work at all if you're LCSing into it.
Haters will say it's fake.
For Chapter 1, unfortunately, I couldn't find a not cheesy or not boring way to skip him.
What is this? The United States of Woke?
If you get Bombay, then do log skip, you can skip most of Koopa Bros Fortress, and while yes, this does skip Junior Troopa, that's kind of boring.
Banger alert.
An idea I had was to skip to Chapter 2, unlock the pipes to Koopa Village, then re-trigger Prologue back into Chapter 1, so that way when you finish Chapter 1, the blue pipe will let you skip past Junior Troopa.
I bet their pronouns are epic sauce.
But if you do that, yeah, I tried maybe skipping into Chapter 5, getting the Ultra Hammer so I can unlock the blue pipe, and then doing a story trigger in Chapter 1 to go back to a Chapter 1 state, but as far as I can tell, there aren't any story triggers you can do after the fact.
This is so millennial coded.
I tried LZSing into the cutscene and that didn't work. I tried LZSing onto the scene of the level and that didn't work either. As far as I can tell, there isn't any way to skip the Chapter 1 fight without skipping a decent amount of Chapter 1.
I'm gonna say my angry word.
Which, yeah, still works. It's just a little lame, you know? Chapter 3, though, this is when it gets fun. Some people have theorized that, hey, since you fight Junior Troopa after Chapter 3,
Has Ray William Johnson seen this one yet?
just get the super boots, unlock the blue pipe, and then leave through said pipe once you finish the chapter. But the devs thought about this, and the fight with Junior Troopa is actually activated by unlocking super boots, not by the chapter being complete.
Behavior on both sides.
So what can we do? We'll just go down the blue pipe. Oh yeah, while you weren't looking, I did some time travel. Before you do anything, do not complete Chapter 2. You can get Paracarry, but do not finish Chapter 2. You need the Super Hammer to still be in its chest.
Welcome to Crazy Town. Population, this video.
It'll make sense later. Now, after completing or skipping Chapter 1, go to Toad Town and casually do Blue House Skip, a double frame perfect pixel perfect trick. It's not that big of a deal.
Leave a comment telling me what your favorite part is.
Then go and fight the blooper that's guarding the pipe to Chapter 5, and now you can enter Chapter 5. And you might be saying that that's boring, that we're skipping 2 whole chapters, but I'm not done yet.
This is my reacting face.
Go outside of Mount Lava Lava to trigger the Yoshi hide and seek game, and then go get sushi. Now that you have sushi, swim across the water and the sewers to unlock the blue pipe to Bo's mansion.
The Lord answered, "Bring me a heifer 3 years old, a she-goat 3 years old, a ram 3 years old, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon." Genesis chapter 15, verse 9.
Right now, this blue pipe won't help us that much because we're in Chapter 5, so head back to Chapter 2 and go through the partially completed Dry Dry Ruins and make sure to collect the Super Hammer.
If this gets 5,000 likes, I'll swallow my own tongue.
This will put your save file back to Chapter 2, and you can finally play through Chapter 2, then through Chapter 3, and when you defeat Tubba Blubba, just go down the blue pipe and skip the Junior Troopa fight.
Their vibe? Checked.
This will allow you to play through all of Chapter 3, 4, and 5 later on, while still skipping Junior Troopa. For Chapter 5, it's really easy. Just go down the blue pipe.
We love to see it.
If you did Chapter 3 as a skip as mentioned previously, the blue pipe should already be unlocked, just go down it. If you want to skip only Chapter 5s, all you have to do is Blue House skip before you get sushi and the pipe will be unlocked.
That's crazy.
Similar to Chapter 3, Junior Troopa isn't actually activated by you finishing the chapter, but instead when you get sushi. Now for Chapter 7. This is the first time since the prologue that the fight has happened in the middle of the chapter, not at the end.
Okay, this next one is gonna break your brain.
And at first sight, there's really nothing you can do. As soon as you leave Shiver City for the first time, the trigger for fighting him will be active.
Yeah, so that's a thing.
If you know anything about Paper Mario glitches, you might already be thinking of a way to get past it. Sushi glitch. Just go back to the previous room, activate Sushi glitch, then go around it.
Wiggling my toesies right now.
But if you try that, that's when you realize the true challenge of skipping this fight. If you look at the area, you might expect that the trigger for doing the fight would look something like this,
My hungry ass could not.
but the trigger is actually dependent on your X coordinate. So instead of the trigger looking something like this, it looks something like this. Top to bottom, front to back, infinitely.
Oh wow, that's really interesting.
Unless there's a way to teleport from behind here to here, there really isn't a way to skip him. Well, skip just him, that is.
Talk about a twist ending.
If you go back into Mount Lava Lava, you can do Peach Warp to skip Chapter 7 entirely. And as I said earlier, you fight him mid-chapter, so this is after he's fought.
Ah, the good old days.
The only issue, we skipped all of Chapter 7, but the solution to this is really easy. Just walk to your right. Whenever you enter Crystal Palace for the first time, the game will update your story progress to Chapter 7.
Don't ask me where I was on the night of October 13th, 2023.
Meaning that using Peach Warp, we completed Chapter 7, took a right, and now we're back in Chapter 7. This does skip a lot of the chapter, too much for me to be completely happy with this strategy,
Me when the Doom music kicks in.
but at least it didn't skip the whole chapter, and you can still do Crystal Palace normally, so I'll let it slide. Chapter 8 though, there really isn't a way of skipping this other than a really lame method.
Okay, hear me out.
None of the previous methods work. You can't do LZS stuff because the entrance to the room is a door. There's no blue pipe for Chapter 8, as much as I wish there was.
Feeling some huge Libra vibes.
So we can't unlock that blue pipe early. If you Peach Warp in a Chapter 8 state, the game will be completely soft-locked. There's really nothing else we can do. Well, without Ace, that is.
I'm ReactBot.
In 2021, a method for ACE, or arbitrary code execution, was found. What does arbitrary code execution mean? It means that we can do literally whatever we want.
True.
In any percent speedruns, this is used to skip to the end credits. Now, I don't really know anything about how ACE works, so I don't really know how possible it would be to skip to this room instead of the end of the game,
Yeah, okay.
or update your story progress to after this fight, though I can't imagine a reason why you couldn't. I would try this myself, but yeah, this is way above my skill level.
Looks like we got ourselves a sticky situation.
Hell, there's only 3 verified 90% runs on the speedrun.com leaderboards. So technically, this run right here skipped the Chapter 8 Junior Troopa fight, but that's really lame to say considering how much of the game was skipped.
I can't react until I've had my coffee.
But like I said, I'm sure there's some way to, instead of skipping here, to skip to Area 16, Room 2E, aka right after you fight Junior Troopa.
I was today years old when I found this out.
Maybe even do Chapter 8 up to the Junior Troopa fight, then do Ace to the room after, so technically you did almost all of Chapter 8 anyways. I don't know. If someone who knows more about Ace than I do wants to try that out, that'd be really cool. But for now, the only method I can say for 100% certainty that skips this fight is by skipping a large amount of the game.
This really shows how oppressed gamers are.
Oh my god, a new Yoshimate video. Can't wait for the next one in a year.
Nice.
I swear I'm trying to make more videos. I'm gonna be trying really hard from now on to make videos more often like I did back in 2021. Hopefully I'll be able to do that, no promises.
That's totally me.
Another thing I feel like I should say is that most of the footage for this video was recorded on the Paper Mario practice ROM, which gives me easy LZS, inventory editing, and the ability to skip to any room and story progress I want.
That sounded a lot better in my head.
While you can do everything I mentioned in the vanilla US version, I just played the practice ROM to make getting footage a lot easier.
That's certainly a choice.
And also, I don't have the capture card or HDMI adapter I talked about in my old Paper Mario videos. I bought my own so I can get clean Paper Mario footage again. So expect some more Paper Mario videos sometime.
Whoa, that's intense.
Anyways though, bye.
This aspect ratio rocks.
Hi, Fox. There's something you want to say?
I'm gonna pin the craziest comment.
Okay, ReactBot, what did you think of the video?
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Oh my god, ReactBot, are you kidding me?